time. I do not expect my audience to be here at time of going live, but I'm treating these live videos as kind of like, instead of replacing, or in some ways replacing just posting, me recording something and posting it, let's just do it in the live section, right? Let's have the simulations in the regular videos and going live here. So I kind of do and I kind of don't want to continue this Jaguars franchise, and I don't mean like forever, I just mean like right now, this morning. So what I mean is I'd kind of like to sim through some stuff but not save it, just manipulate and mess around, show off some ideas. I'm kind of not happy the fact that we're 2-0. Like, oh, why aren't you happy with winning? Because that means like there's something more messed up. We shouldn't be winning these games. We should not beat the Seahawks. We should get thumped by Seattle with the Legion of Boom defense. And yet I have like a sinking suspicion that we're going to do well. I mean, look at us. We have like the 5th ranked offense and the 3rd ranked defense. We shouldn't have that. We shouldn't have that. And that's not right. I want to go into scouting. I've got my tea next to me. I want my coffee, but I don't have any milk right now. I should get some, but I'm too lazy. Let's go to all available, not like it matters. We've looked at wide receivers. Okay? We can look at tight ends. We can look at offensive line. We can look at a lot of different things. What do we want to look at? I'd like to talk about running backs. Like, I'm super hyped on offense and defensive line personally, but I think the audience, you all, might be interested in backs. And I do like running backs. You definitely need good running backs. We can see where guys are projected to be taken, including multiple undrafted free agents. And I think one of the first things that I want to see out of a running back is ball carrier vision. I think the philosophy is, again, maybe I'm just being arrogant, but I figure if you've made it through high school football and you've made it through college football, regardless of your speed, if you're even being projected to be drafted or find your way in the NFL, you've got to be fast and you've got to be strong. Now, you may not be the fastest or the strongest, but even the guys who are like air quotes slow are still good enough to make it in this league. Then I'm going to take a look at you, and I'm not going to really scout your speed. Speed is nice and all that, but I'm going to go on like a little tiny side story. I think it was Jamal Lewis of the Ravens that, at least in the video game, he had something like 87 or 88 speed on like the PS2 era. I want to say it was like Madden 04, Madden 02. I think it was like Madden 02, Madden 03, something like that. One of them is like, he was even like the guy you're supposed to use in the running back drills, like for the minicamp games to get awards. I think he had like 87 speed. It's like, you're not going to break away. It could have been 88, but I think it was 87 speed. Might have been 86. It doesn't matter, but it does for the story. It was like, you can get things done with that. I have the really bad cough. I'm sorry to keep coughing in the microphone like that. Let me try to fix that. The idea is, the speed's going to be fine. Whoever it is, whatever it is, like they belong in this league. What I need is ball carriers who have vision for the blocks and know where they're trying to go. So I want to start scouting for ball carrier vision. We can look at the other skills before I press the first thing, but I'm just skipping a lot of this. Like, I can go to trucking or I can do other things later. But it's an inexpensive ability, and I want it to be really high. I want it to be useful. I want to say this guy really knows what to do. Carrying, you got to be able to hold on to the ball, but I'm only going to scout that of the guys who I'm actually interested in. For me, I do like some good route running. I like their ability to run routes and be a good receiving threat out of the backfield. That's nice. But I would say this and elusiveness are among the top skills that I want from a back. So we're going to see ball carrier vision. And we're just going to kind of run through this. We can see the C's already. I don't even like having the B rating. It's a skill that I would really like to see an A from. And I'll settle on the B's and scout like more aspects. But these C's and D's are just like, what are we doing here? Are there any hidden gems down here later on, or are they all just bad? Like, at least he has a C instead of a D. There you go. So all of these are B ratings. Where are they supposed to be drafted? Third round, second, first. So you can find someone, especially if you're going at the bottom of the second. You can find someone here because you're going to go to the bottom of the third. So that's also part of the projection. Is if you're, if you're a playoff team, you're the 27th pick or the 26th pick or whatever, you're not going to see these guys in the third round. You better take either Terrence or one of these three, right? And then we've got like a top 10 pick, and then like bottom of the first round pick, bottom of the second, middle of the third. Those are some projections with ball carrier vision. And sometimes you find players with even lower draft stock. But these are guys to definitely pay attention to. So if B is my cutoff and we don't have any A's, that just tells me something right there. But we're going to go elusiveness. Can you see where you're supposed to go? Can you make someone miss? Now we're talking, right? Okay. Now we're saying something here, right? So these two guys with A elusiveness. How is their agility? Not so good. We've got something here with Kenny. And Kenny's a third round draft pick here. You see how I did that with the filter? Like, he's got good ball carrier vision. He's very elusive. He's got really solid agility. So, how about his other skills? Does he truck people? Is he strong? Okay, his juke move. Ooh, he's got some jukes in him. Agility and jukes, they should go hand in hand anyway. How's that stiff arm? Like, his strength's a B. How's that spinny? Right? Does he catch? What's his route running? Like, for a non-receiver, that's pretty good. I'm telling you, C doesn't sound like much, but remember, this video game doesn't rate them like so high like wide receivers. Is his route running good enough against linebackers? Right? His ability to pass block. Okay, he's not going to stay in there as much. How's his toughness and injury rating? Is injury prone? Ooh, he's not so injury prone. Right? It's not an F personality. He's not like a problem. He's fine. Right? I believe personality has an impact on like the media statements, or there's something about fans. There's like other things that it impacts off the field. I think it has some level to do with like the contracts or holdouts. It has something to do with other aspects. Catching the ball. I'm investing a lot of points here on Kenny because Kenny looks really appealing. We're just like learning a lot about him, but that's why we're willing to invest the other points. And now we're going to look at the acceleration. Oh my goodness, Kenny. I think this is how we're going to finish our points. Look at Kenny here. I don't care about your jumping, Kenny. I don't care about your awareness, Kenny. Oh my goodness, Kenny. Oh my goodness, Kenny. Kenny Crenshaw, baby. We don't even have the points for the scheme. Kenny Crenshaw, that was our find. 5'11", 227. If he's available in the second round, if he's on the board in the second, how do we not grab him? How do we potentially not go after our wide receiver and Kenny and just like get offense? Is this not what we're looking for? Look at this. B strength, A speed, A agility. Like, I don't need 99 speed. I just have A speed, A agility, A acceleration. Strong enough, elusive, pretty good ball carrier vision among the top of his classmates, like in the B range, even to the bottom of a B. He carries the ball. He's not a trucker, but he's got spin moves and he's got jukes. Like, come on. He can catch the football out of the backfield. He's not terrible at route running. Like, folks, we got Kenny here. I'm telling you. Okay, so that's scouting. And there's all kinds of other positions that we can look at. We can talk about the pass blocking and run blocking. I like to look at run blocking first, like, because running is half the game, passing is half the game, whatever. But running, it's like, if you can't plow the road for us in that half of the game, then I'm not even going to look at you. And then only the people who can run block am I going to start looking at who can pass block, like, as like narrowing things down, if that makes any sense. As opposed to the other way around, like, oh, if you need to be able to protect the quarterback because we got to throw the football. Like, we can call screens, we can call draws, we can do play action. There's ways that we can get around a bad pass blocker, but you can't hide with a bad run blocker. And then the same thing on defense. Like, you need to be able to stop the run first. We'll figure out how you can rush the passer, but hopefully we can get coverage sacks. And you can just fight your way. You don't have to be like an instant win, but you've got to be able to stop the run first, right? Corners, you got to be able to tackle on an island. You got to be able to be physical up front and all that. We can hide you in cover 2 zone, and we can hide you in certain areas, but you got to be physical. You got to be willing to tackle on an island. You got to be willing to tackle those wide receivers and those running backs and everything. So there's certain skills that I'm looking for across the board, right? But I think we found something with Kenny here. Okay? So with that in mind, we're going to say season game, simulate, and let's advance the week. I'm not saying we're going to save this. I'm probably going to play games. They were cheating because we're scouting points on Kenny and everyone, but especially if we get a nice loss. I know you would like to watch the game, but I don't want to just go out there and like beat Seattle. I would actually kind of hate to win that game, just to be honest. There, we lost. Very good. 2-1. Dropped our offense and defensive ranking. Okay. So we got scouting. So I showed you running backs. Look, we need to figure out this quarterback situation here. Okay? Chad Henne is not the future. He's not the franchise that we're throwing things at. Like, we got to be aware of that, okay? So now, very similar to the other positions, we're saying, hey, if you've made it this far, I'm sure that you can throw the football. Okay? But what other skills are we looking at? I'm not saying the first filter is play action, but I do want guys who can actually like carry off the fake. If we're going to run the ball well, we want to see who can carry out the fake. Well, it's part of this Shanahan offense. It's the play action, the boot. Awareness is really important here because the low awareness is these guys that play really dumb. Like, your knowledge of the game, your understanding of the game is important to me. There's a little bit of throw on the run. Let's see what else is here. Some of the things aren't even here, are they? Yeah, I see carrying and truck, elusive, agility, strength, awareness, play action, throw on the run. It's just called run. Okay. Okay, got it. But I kind of want to see how we can save points, right? It's not the end all be all, but I think we can actually save some points. Like, if you're just trash at play action, like, we can get you better. We can train players up. But also, I'd rather not spend the points doing that. It seems like such a silly thing, but it's really important. Like, Harbaugh. Wow, not John. Jim Harbaugh has a clinic. I have it on my channel, but it has to be hidden. About the play action. Not just about the play action, about quarterback clinics. Before, like, he was a known coach. Like, he was a known quarterback in the NFL. But before he made, like, a big name for himself as a coach, he had a really great clinic. He talks about many aspects. One of the reasons it has to be hidden is he uses a scene from the movie The Sandlot. But he talks about play action and everything here. So, like, these D's and these C's and these abilities, I'm probably less interested in it. So let's at least put some awareness in these B-rated players, right? Instead of dropping 75 each on every player. See, I like this. Okay. It's kind of interesting here, huh? Tell me more about these guys. Okay, what else do we want to know next? Throw accuracy in general, especially for simulating games. B accuracy. It's another skill that's interesting. I thought, like, because, okay, here's the thing. Throw accuracies in general, and then throw mid, short, and deep are all when you're physically playing the game. So I guess it's kind of interesting to also just check that. That could be a better skill. I don't even see it in here. Do you? I don't. Personality trait, all of that. Throwing power, short, medium, deep, run, play action, awareness, speed, strength, agility. No. Interesting. It, even though we scout it, it's not showing up here in the things that we actually actively scout. So that's interesting. So let's take a look at these guys that we've already invested the awareness in. Throwing accuracy is here. It's a B. Maybe we spend the little bit of points. Maybe this could be another filter that we could do. Is spend points here. And if we like someone's throw accuracy, we spend points on something else that we can actually see to show that we spent those points. Because B accuracy is like, eh. We've already scouted that. Does anyone come up with like A accuracy? Because this is another reason to just like skip on the quarterback position for another year. The wide receiver and the running backs, those look like first and second round picks. Excuse me, and I don't see a quarterback that's changing my mind. I'm not seeing a diamond in the rough. Yeah, I'm not seeing it. So the throwing accuracy at most are in the B's. I'm just not seeing it here. So play actions are B's, throw accuracies are B's, awareness are B's. How does he handle everything else? He's not a deep shot thrower. He has play action, but he's not really good throwing on the run. He's just all kinds of... This looks like Mr. Backup Quarterback. Right? Which isn't bad, but our team is made out of backup quarterbacks. And a fifth rounder, Stephen Kosh here. He could just be like a solid football player. He looks like he's just a solid football player. Does the things that we want him to do. And Tannen, a little less. Like the accuracy is here. He also has the short and mid accuracy. His deep accuracy is a little bit better. So that's interesting. That's also interesting. We're kind of like relearning a few things. What if we just look at mid shots, right? But I don't want these low awareness guys. So what if we do mid shot accuracy? Because you can have C accuracy, but B mid accuracy and B short accuracy. So the short accuracy is just throwing those screens and those slants and all of that. Not slants, but whatever. It's the mid shots that you need to be able to hit. So let's see if maybe this is a good filter. Probably spending way too many points on quarterback, but I'm kind of refiguring it out with you. Yeah, that's probably why they took throwing accuracy out of the list here. They're like, ignore it. Okay. We're just blowing points on this. But no one's sticking out, right? Like, there's no hidden gem here that we're missing. There's no generational quarterback either, right? Okay. So mid-accuracy throwers. Let's only look at the guys with B or better mid-accuracy. How's your short? How's your deep game? How's your short and deep game? Yeah, you can see double B, mid, and short accuracy, but C overall. I guess it gets drugged down because of that. I didn't mean to do that, but okay. Okay, okay. Fine. A throwing power. That's probably what gets him around. Trying to click to quickly cost me points. It's all around here. Interesting. Okay, so now that we've seen all of that, this play action, they're terrible at that, but is there anyone we should skip looking into? All of these players who have B or better mid accuracy all have at least B or better short accuracy. So there's some D on the deep balls. Do I really care? I mean, I do care. But, like, this is the highest rated player who also has a B here. So let's take a look at some more information here. What's your throwing power like? What's your awareness like? Right? Also D awareness. What's your throw power like? What's your awareness like? And we can't afford a second player beyond that. So we might have to continue spending more points on other quarterbacks. But also looks like the quarterbacks are just not all that special. So we're going to advance the week. We should lose to the Colts, right? So I hope we lose to the Colts. And while this simulates, I'm going to use this as an opportunity to have some tea that I made this morning. I forget its official name. Oh, it's here on the tab. Let me actually flip the tab. Citrus mix. Ginger and honey is what it says. How do you get honey flavor out of a dry tea bag? But it's fine. No added sugars, nothing like that. And the season game, okay, we lost. So we lost to Seattle, we lost to the Colts. That's good. We beat Kansas City, which we had no business winning that game. I don't know why we did. We beat the Raiders, but I figure we should have beat the Raiders. And we've lost the next two games, which I think is appropriate. So I think it's worth putting a few more points here to the rest of the quarterbacks and like finishing up what we couldn't finish before. So let's take a look at all the medium accuracies. And I'm just skipping those guys with C accuracy. Like, stop wasting my time. The throw power is there. Throw on the run. His throw power is here. His throw on the run. We don't need all these throw on the runs, but throw on the run doesn't mean like you have to be like off your back foot, whatever, but definitely helps to just be an all-around player. It's not the end-all be-all stat. All right, so now we've actually got something to look at. Throwing power. I'm a Brock Purdy fan. I like Tom Brady. Tom Brady got a stronger and stronger arm as he progressed, but Drew Brees, all them, they were not known for having the high throw power. Even in the Madden games, they're giving these guys like 86, 88, like maybe 91 throw power for a while. Brady eventually got the 99, 99 in like the 2007 season when they went 18-1 and all that. But I also would argue that Tom Brady worked really hard, obviously, on a lot of aspects across the board. And he also became a better deep ball thrower and had a stronger arm. He showed it off a lot more. I also feel that Madden underrated him, and what they value as like 99 throw power, I see as something like a Brett Favre, a Jeff George. Jamarcus Russell, regardless of his work ethic, had a cannon arm. Like there's guys who have a true cannon arm, John Elway, all that. I don't know if Tom Brady had that. There's a difference between being able to physically throw the ball deep and then throw the ball deep and maintain the power and velocity. It's not just the distance, it's the power, velocity, and everything. With those throws, there's just so much that goes into what would be considered throwing power, like the strongest arms. But the point is, you don't need a cannon arm. Even Bill Walsh talks about you don't need a cannon arm. Like, I don't know how low B is. We could take a look at that. But you notice here, everyone that we have listed as medium accuracy of B, they have B or A throwing power. So now we see that we can just like move off of the throwing power thing, like when scheme and blah blah blah. We can like get that off the television screen because we're happy with all of it, right? We can also say medium accuracy. Nobody has a terrible short accuracy. Though no one has a medium accuracy, it definitely helps to sort by short accuracy. So at least you get to see here the top short accurate passers, though, like, how inaccurate is B? Like, does it really matter how inaccurate it is? If that makes any sense. So the only guy who can actually take a deep shot as well out of this group is right here. And so he doesn't have an A ability and that other stuff. And then his awareness is a D. Right? That's the other thing. We've looked at these awareness ratings. And it's like, people who actually understand the position and what to do, there's only two guys that really like fill in what we're truly looking for at the quarterback position. Like, they've got at least some layer of accuracy. They've got, we didn't do throw on the run here, and I feel like ADHD or like obsessive compulsive that I need to scout that and fill in the blank, even though I don't have to. Awareness here. It really looks like these are the only two quarterbacks that I'm legitimately interested in potentially drafting. They have the accuracy ratings that like I'm looking for. They have the play action ability. They don't have the deep ball, so it's like even here it's like this. Like D, that's really got me worried. So like Tannen, who I was kind of passing off earlier, now I'm maybe like looking at a little bit more. At age 21, oh, and he's the first round pick. There you go. Not number one overall, but there you go. That explains that. That explains that. Okay, so other guy. Yeah, just one other guy is even remotely close to worth looking at, and he is, again, Stephen Kosh, the fifth rounder, the Mr. Backup that I mentioned earlier. Right? That's the information. I don't like unlocking the numbers. Just give me a range. That's all I want to know. Because there's so many unknowns to the game. It's just like, what do you think this is like? Right? So, here we are. We've got like a top pick, and we've got there, and just all kinds of nothing else on our list. So, is this someone we're going to spend a fourth rounder on? Maybe. I say fourth rounder because wherever we're picking, we're probably not picking in the top 5. He probably won't even be there in the 5th round for us. So, do we need to pick him in the 5th round? Do we just skip it all together? Do we just tank this season? Like, do we just go on a losing streak and then this guy ends up being our pick? Right? We don't get the wide receiver that we wanted. Right? What's the situation? But that's the quarterback world. All right. It looks like since I was talking, we've got a good comment in here. And it says, hello, chat. I randomly saw the live stream, Madden 14. I think it's quite old. It's fascinating. Okay, awesome. Glad to see you there. Hope you're still watching. I enjoy this game. It's the one I like. Scouting. Scout players. We spend a lot of points on wide receiver. Or not wide receiver, on quarterback. And let's go all available. And we found running back situations. We didn't really find any kind of quarterback situation that we're looking for. And now we're going to spend remaining points on corners. Okay? So, I want guys that can tackle. Like, I'm going to assume that if you're going to make it in the NFL, like, you should be able to tackle. I assume that if you make it in the NFL, you should be able to run and cover and do all those kinds of things. Like, right? Like, you should be able to do a lot of things. So I guess play recognition, that is like the game's version. I was going to sort by tackle first, but play recognition, this is the defensive version of awareness. I know awareness is a stat here, but play recognition is the true awareness. Okay? who understands what they're doing. So that's going to be our first filter. You can raise play recognition for very few points. I think it's like the biggest swing of a position or trait because it impacts their ability to cover in zone, which doesn't make any sense. You'd think zone coverage would be it. But zone coverage, my understanding from what people actually unlocked, like Madden 20-ish in the code, is that zone coverage is what's compared against catching traffic. Like if you're like man coverage, my understanding is what they use like versus route running to break open. And my understanding is, especially if you're in zone, but the catching traffic, it's like this is what's supposed to be checked against catching traffic. But their actual ability to drop into the correct zone and pick players up, to understand route combinations, that's play recognition. So you could have 99 zone coverage. You're going to be breaking up passes in traffic. But you can have 99 zone coverage, and if you have like 40 play recognition, you're not going to drop into the zones correctly or anything. Like it's going to be terrible. And also like reading the runs, reading draws, reading screens, all of that. Like it is the dominant ability on defense. So I just want to sort who actually knows how to play football, who can recognize the play, and who's lost out there. And there's guys out there who are just completely lost, right? Come on. Play rec. So all these Bs. Who are all these Bs? Right? 5th rounds, 4th rounds, 3rd rounds, 1st rounds, 2nd rounds. There's a whole variety of players here. So again, I want at least B. We don't have any A. No, we don't. But I at least want B out of rookies. Right? So, how's your man coverage? That's another thing that you could use as a filter because it's only 38 points. You say, like, if you can't cover in man, then, like, you're not worth my time, right? But I would be applying the same filter of play recognition to anyone in man. You give me a man coverage, and he's got like a C or a D in play recognition, I don't know. I might look at the C play recs, the averages. Because you can train up play rec to a certain degree. You can train up everything, but the points that it takes in man coverage, you're not going to get them much better than they are. Separate comment says, just like Jimmy Johnson said, if a guy isn't smart, you can't coach him. Yeah, if a guy is smart, you can coach him. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. So let's go through this. At least C of average intelligence, because that's the other thing. Like, I don't want to say like C is dumb. Like, C means like you're a rookie. Come on, you're not supposed to be an NFL veteran. You're like 20 years old, right? I don't expect you to be awesome, but these like D and F play recognition, it's just like they're not gonna get it, bro. You're gonna have to work them up to a C. Okay, so that's like another great filter that we have. So guys who can actually play man coverage and know things, like, okay, look, I'm at least going to give these guys a shot because maybe they can be zone corners and they just don't know. Okay? I'm not going to completely throw them in the trash. B zone coverage. Okay. A zone coverage. See? See, that's why. A zone coverage. Okay? There you go. So, can these A and B zone coverage guys, can they be physical at the line? Should these just be cover 2 guys? Guys are just up there, pressing, and just dropping into zone. No. So that's a filter for me. Yeah. They just don't have any press. Their play rec is where we want it. They can break up passes in tight coverage. You can't trust them in man. So that's a problem. We play a lot of man on my team, but we mix between man and zone. Yeah, that's a problem. Like, you don't have to press. I haven't been pressing, but I do like to have that. Let's find out the rest of these guys. Since it's not a lot of points. Press and zone. Yeah, it's trash. But you see, I'm not going to be putting a lot of points in just everyone. Right, there's all these other corners I'm not going to work with. Just no one special here, right? No, like, obvious first round pick, like superstars. Which there shouldn't be very many. I guess it's another factor that we could talk to. Is you don't want a lot of high-end talent because the NFL has high-end talent, but it only gets so many players each year. Okay, I don't have enough scouting points because I was scouting quarterbacks. So I've got a few extra little points that I need to spend here. But what have we discovered here at this position? Right? Man coverage. Right? The top man coverage guys. What do we know about them? So far, we've only got 1-2 players that are decent at press. Okay, I'd like to see better. Really, really good man coverage player, allegedly. And he understands the plays. 2 of them, right? So what do we know about these guys? 4th and 2nd rounders. Those could be some gems. Right? Top of the 3rd, bottom of the 2nd. And then bottom of the 3rd, top of the 4th round. So day 2, day 3 picks. 21 years of age. 6'2", 188. Right? That's pretty solid. For a rookie, building your team up, that's not so bad, right? They'll stand out. Okay. These other play recognitions as C's and all these C's abilities, just one A ability, I don't think is worth it. Where was he supposed to be taken? Undrafted free agent, though. Undrafted free agent, 7th round pick. That's not so terrible, right? 23 years old, 6'1". Just like a 4th, 5th round, not 5th round, but 4th, 5th on your depth chart. And he just kind of fills in if you've got an injury and he needs to play like against 5 wide or 4 wide or something. You just need a guy out there to man coverage with the rest of your dudes. Like, that's not bad, honestly. That's the other thing with the scouting is like, it's the value. If I have Clark here, if I need Clark, because also with the rest of my roster that I have, if I need Clark, that's not a bad pickup in the 7th round, right? That's not a bad guy to make a phone call to in undrafted free agency and say, hey, we'd like you to come to camp with us and just, make a team, right? That's the thing to think about. But he's not. If they said like second round or third round, I'd be like, cool story, bro. Go to someone else. Um, because there's also the money that you're spending on that position too. Now, we don't have any more A man coverage guys. That's okay. But does anyone else have any other rounded out like skill? B. Like he's okay at press. He's okay at everything. He's just Mr. Okay, and you can teach him. But he's also the top of the third round. He wants to play on Sunday. His name is Sunday Carlson, bro. With a name like that, you better be a good performer. You were born ready to play on Sundays, right? Come on, that's pretty cool. Okay. But a name doesn't do it for me. It's how can you play ball? So, what else do we have? We got Sunday. Does anything else stick out to you guys? Like, not really. We got some B and B. We got to see the rest of the other skills. This B, A, B, C. Florence here. Like, I'm not spending a first round pick on Florence. I'm sorry. I like our wide receiver a lot better here. You know? Yeah, it's interesting to have this pickup. We can finish the corners off when we go into the next week. And that's what we're going to do. All right, how do we do? Are we on a losing streak? Hit the wrong button here. 3-2. Want to win? Like, we have a winning record. We want to scout. Want to finish off those corners. Though there's nothing special, we still want to be able to at least finish them off. So we can say man coverage, guys. Here we were looking at zone. Zone and press. See, there you go. That's why we do it. B, A, and B. Abdullah here. 4th round. Abdullah might not be a bad 4th rounder. Right? It's all about value. Okay, not so much here. Some interesting ideas for sure. Some interesting ideas for sure. So, like, this is a no, right? I think we can all agree with that. Like, C-man coverage. Like, yeah, I think C-man coverage is just a big no. A zone, B play recognition. When are you going to be selected? So, no. That's just because of where you're going to be selected. I would learn more about you, but I'm not drafting that in the first round. It's not happening. Okay, here, bottom of the second. I like the running back a lot better. You're not really intriguing me with that C-man coverage. The A zone is nice, but a second round pick, I don't think so. This is a giant no. This is like, 3rd round? I think I want something better out of the 3rd round than that. No. B man coverage, B whatever. Fifth round. Okay, now I'll say, what's your scheme? Okay. Hybrid multiple front. That's what we do. We've got 4-3-3-4. We've got all kinds of different fronts. So you fit that. You fit what we want to do. Okay. And very similar. Right? But where are you supposed to be drafted? There you go. 4-3. That's fine with me. B and then a bunch of C's. Bottom of the 4th. Just nothing special there. I'm not spending a draft pick on that. I like these B's across the board with A zone coverage. This is what I'll spend a 4th round on. And we're doing this scheme so that we can really see, like, remember who we were targeting when we're building our draft board. I'm not spending a 3rd round on that. B's and C's and B's. Sunday, that was the guy, right? Not spending a 3rd round on Mr. Sunday, though. The top of the... Like, really, that's a 2nd rounder. I'm not spending a 2nd rounder on that Sunday. Maybe you'll come up and make me regret it, but I don't think so. And again, top of the 2nd, bottom of the 1st. For that, I don't know. 1st round, Florence. Just for that, for B-man coverage, and you can't press or anything like that. Whoa, someone is going to get screwed by Frank. Where's Frank? Right here. Frank is going to steal money from someone, bro. Who is hyping up Frank? He's going to Toledo. What is this about Frank that has everyone hyped? B-man coverage. He can't cover in zone. Play recognition is trash. He can't press. I'm not saying play recognition C is trash, but you know what I'm talking about. Like for number 5. Number 5. Like, what is the deal? I've got to know. I'm not going to scout scheme. That's like a teller for me. It's got to be something like his speed or something, right? He can't tackle C. That's comparing against linebackers, so it's not so bad. But maybe he's like fast. Maybe that's what it is. Sometimes they don't actually check, can you actually play the game? Right? And there's just, this dude is really fast and he's got good strength or something, but he doesn't have the good strength. He doesn't have the press. Or if he does hit the weight room, he doesn't turn that into actually like pressing corners or pressing wide receivers as a corner. So, wow. Like, Frank, you got someone hyped for you. I bet they think that they can take these C's and then turn them into like B quality or something. You're going to steal so much money from a team. All right. A with B play recognition. These 3 A players in man coverage, where are they supposed to be taken? 4th, 2nd, and undrafted. Yeah. Tell me about your scheme. Hybrid multiple front. Attacking 3-4, less so for us. And then Clark. Base 3-4. All of them are telling us something. But these are at least players that we're tagging with scheme that we're at least interested in the draft. We're not going to take all of them or anything. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 players. Okay? That's the point. So who are we targeting? 5th round, 4th round, 5th round, 4th round, 2nd round, undrafted free agent, right? Depending on how we finish the year, we may be taking before this, and we may be able to get one of these guys, but that's the point. When we've scouted this scheme, it tells me that I've looked at the other abilities, and I'm like kind of happy with them, especially also in consideration of where they're supposed to be taken, right? Because you're like, how are you interested in, what is it? Is it here, right? Clark? How can you be interested in Clark when he has all these other C abilities? Because he's supposed to go in the 7th, bro. If I can just like steal a 7th round pick, he's supposed to be undrafted. If I can just like make a trade and just like pack a 7th round in there, or just say, okay, where's my 7th round guy? I'll be happy with this. He may not even make the team, bro, because of how many corners I have on my roster. But that's the kind of guy that we're like, hey, it's time to make a 7th round pick. Who you got? I got this guy Clark. He might be worth bringing on, right? That could be a thing. So yeah, what do we see here? Like B's and C's. Like the press, we know nobody is impressive in the press. Like as an all-around player, Abdullah here looks legit. B, right? Versus A's and C's. Yeah, that's interesting. I'm not going to linger here much longer, but you can see that it's not a bad set of choices for building our draft board. Okay, we've got more points to spend. Okay. Safety positions. Now, this is going to be especially important for play recognition because they're back there as safeties, like having to recognize the plays. So I put play recognition a lot higher. And those of you watching, let's also take a look at this next thing that's related to it in strategy, just to explain. No, not auto subs. I push the button in a direction and it doesn't always go. It's got like this delay. Okay, so what kind of players are we looking for? And it says, at the safety position, it says playmaker. Teams that prefer a playmaker safety weigh more towards pursuit, play recognition, and awareness. Okay, now what are the other skills? Zone, it just says zone coverage and play recognition. Same thing. Run support from the safety position. Now, free safety run support. Block shedding, pursuit, and tackling. But I want pursuit and tackling anyway. Prototype is just their physical attributes. Balanced is some decent speed, agility, and coverage and tackling, like all across the board, as it says. But yeah, pursuit, play recognition, and awareness. Like, yeah, I want a playmaker. I want someone who knows what's happening, can react to it quickly, who can run down players and make tackles, right? Can do those things. Can potentially fly across the board. Like, if they're catch, they can just swat things, right? So, let's scout safeties. Both positions equally. I want them to be able to tackle. It's nice when we get a hard-hitting safety out there. But you first got to know what you're doing, right? So, play rec, baby. And where is it? Agility, speed, zone coverage. There it is at the bottom. Play rec tells me, I'm not going to ask you to do too much man. Where's your zone? It's trash. Where's your pursuit? B and B. Your play rec is D. I don't think I'm going to waste any more points on you. Play rec is a D. If you don't know how to play the game, then you're not going to play for me. I'm not going to sit there and try to teach you how to play the game. Someone else can do that. You're like, I don't know what's going on. Like, how low is F, bro? How low is F? Heath, how are you going to fail play recognition? If I show you a clip on the screen, what's going on, do you know what's even happening? And you're the safety, bro, you're the last line of defense. If you don't know what's going on at the last line of defense, I can't trust you out there. I might as well have a traffic cone, because if you're getting lost in coverage, if we've got blown coverages, we're giving up points. I'm sorry, Keith, but what? Poor Keith. Think I've got a new comment? Yeah, zone definitely more important than man for safeties too. Absolutely agree. There'll only be a man if you're running cover 0 or something. Absolutely agree with that. There are times, though, that we actually do ask one of our two safeties to play man against a tight end in the base 4-3 or 3-4. We have one safety deep, and the other one is manned up against a tight end. So the man coverage doesn't have to be against wide receivers, but it can be against running back. It can, coming out of the backfield. It can be against a tight end, and they usually come up as a box safety. So I do agree with you. It is more important to have zone. I absolutely agree. But please consider that other aspect, if that makes any sense, too. Okay, so play rec. Keith, bro. Or sorry, Keith. Heath, man. Heath Ferris, bro. I just feel bad for you. I feel bad for Michigan. Okay, same thing with D. Like, bro. At least C or better. That's all it is. They only have one B play rec. Only one guy knows what's going on. But again, C, it's a passing grade. They're rookies. Like, I'm going to try to not go, too hard on them. But zone coverage. Okay, and pursuit. Okay. Zone coverage and pursuit. But don't waste my time with D. Okay? And pursuit. Okay? Did we do both of these for him? Yeah, we did. Okay. Zone coverage, play recognition, and pursuit. What does it tell us? It tells us decent at being maybe Mr. Deep coverage. Right? These are just terrible zone coverage ratings. Like, they're not going to break up any passes. So that's the thing that I was mentioning earlier, I think in this very same video, is like the zone coverage doesn't actually impact their ability to cover the right zone. It has their ability to try to break up passes. But that's what I want, right? If they're involved in a play, I want them to be able to try to break up passes. I want them to know what they're doing and to break up passes. Now, I can raise this up to like something, but that's pretty bad. Those are some like orange flag, red flag. Like, when you get there, what do? Do you just let him catch it? Like, come on, bro. D? Are you kidding me? Like, B pursuit, at least this player knows what's happening and he can pursue plays. That's something. But D in coverage, bro? I think I can teach up these guys. Right? So, pursuit or C, there's like nothing special here. So, what's the tackling for these guys? Oh, my goodness. They're not even tacklers. They're not even... I mean, that's again rated against defensive linemen and linebackers, so C might not be so bad. But you got to be able to tackle a dude. Like, we're going to actually ask you to tackle running backs. And if C means like you're just kind of average at everything, do I need an average NFL player? Am I paying you $500,000, $750,000, $2 million, whatever, to be an average football player? I don't like it. 3rd and 5th rounders. I think I'd rather take veterans from free agency, bro. I think I'd rather have veterans in free agency. I don't think there's anyone here that I'm legitimately interested in. Like, as a core skill. How's your tackling and hit power? Oh. That D zone coverage is a big red flag for me, though. Like, okay, you've got your other skills. So that's going to be what I'm going to spend time on training you at. Because, I mean, I'm going to use your experience points. I'm going to train you at something. B tackling and B hit power means you can at least make some hits. You can make some plays, right? The B pursuit. Like, there's got to be something I can... Oh, my God. And he's a top 10 pick. Yeah, you can definitely see Coach taking this guy. Maybe he's also top 10 just because he's like the only guy that's any good at that position. Like, it's a very shallow class, and it's like if you don't take him, there's no one else you're going to take. And everyone's going to be wanting to, like, be fighting for the one good player on the board, right? And then it's like we're just going to see how we can work on his zone coverage, right? Like, I could definitely see that as a storyline. These are things that you don't get by just looking at the screen, right? Like, that's the storyline. It's got to be, right? I just say skip the free safeties, bro. This is not a good free safety class. And strong safety, we're going to teach it. We're going to treat it the same way because I know there's like a lot of people who are like, oh, well, we have John Lynch as a free safety, or sorry, strong safety. We have uh, Cam Chancellor is a strong safety. We've got these guys up in the box making hits or whatever. Yeah, that's true. There's a layer to that. But also, I like having like a versatile safety, so it doesn't matter if they're on whatever side of the field. If they're on the near side, the far side, whatever side the tight end lines up on, whatever. I need guys that can be versatile, that can play up, that can play back, right? So yeah, it still comes down to this. Like, let's treat them the same. See or better in play rec is what I want to see. And it's kind of repetitive, but this is the grind. That's what they say. Like, you can't cheat the game. Like, you got to put the work in. You want a good draft class? You want a good draft board? You want to be informed? You got to do your homework. It's not as sexy and as exciting as playing the game and running the ball and catching passes. But you want to develop your franchise? You got to hit the gym. You got to hit the film room. You got to do your studying. You got to do your homework. Oh. Boy, we were talking mad smack before, and then Jarek and Trenton and Jarek, guys, no, it can't be. Just 3 guys worth looking at here. How's your zone? How's your pursuit? How's your hit power? Where's your tackle? There it is. How's your zone coverage? How's your pursuit? How's your hit power? How's your tackling? How's your zone? How's your pursuit? How's your hit power? How's your tackling? Right? Zone coverage are B's, pursuits are B's. The hit power, the tacklings are all D's. We gotta work in training camp on your tackling. But at least you can hit someone with that B hit power. You got B here. You got decent pursuit. Please don't tell me you're a high draft pick. You are. And these other guys, is Theo like at least a project player? Because I'm not spending a high draft pick on these positions. Is Theo at least like worth a project? C is fine. C is fine. He's got B play recognition, which means he's got some smarts in that head. He's not a hitter. We got to work on that tackling. Is there anything else to look at? The scheme. Attacking 3-4 guy. Man coverage is terrible. Again, he's not going to do a lot, but if he's got to try to cover tight ends. Can he shed blocks against a tight end in the box? No. Oh, it's bad. And I'm not spending picks here. The safety position is... It's hurting, baby. It's hurting. D's in play rec. I'm sorry. I'm trying to figure out a way, like... Maybe you can teach the kid the game, but there's got to be a filter for a reason. What's your pursuit? Like, give me something. You telling me these safeties are just this bad? My goodness, bro. Give me something. Why do you think you belong in this league? F. Oh, we don't have enough points. All of this. Is there someone who, like, we've got one player with B pursuit. Like, they don't know what the plays are. They're not very good in pursuit. Just one guy. 6 rounder. I don't know. I might have something. 6 rounder is a little different. Let's advance the week, baby. Enjoying my tea. All right. Season game. We're 3-3. We got a 500 record. Okay? That's fine. We're playing the Chargers. Trade block. DMC, you got traded from the Raiders to the Rams, and now the Rams are not happy with you. The Rams picked you up, and they're flipping you in the same year that they got you. Folks, if you did not know while watching this, we traded MJD, Maurice Jones-Drew. We traded MJD to the Raiders. We got a second-round pick for him, which is also why, like, when we're looking at the draft, which is what we're doing, we know that we should have 2 second-round picks. DMC was traded from the Raiders then to the Rams. And after 6 games, they are giving up on this trade. They're giving up on it. So where does he go? Usually they update it in the news. Also, what we've been skipping are the storyline players. I like the storylines. Okay, he's improving, but still not a game changer at the defensive tackle position. And sometimes they have like all these like college players. If we see top stories, we can't go back to the other weeks and the other stories. All stories, draft stories. There's 10 draft stories. QB Todd Davis throws for 400 yards in a loss. Beats Kentucky. Halfback has an epic run and fan-made shirts. Explode his blah, blah, blah. They love Stanford cornerback. Tons of personality. Loves to talk up his teammates. Halfback, 10 tackles, 72-yard touchdown run. Yeah, they're like really hyping up Sunday Carlson. Very athletic corner who has great ability. Grew up playing soccer and all that. Isn't he the same one? Yeah. Sunday is who they're trying to talk up as their storyline guy. What's unfortunate is a lot of these storyline guys, then they just disappear. They stop being storylines. But at least you get to learn something about them, right? Hype coming into college has struggled to match up to the hype. That's like a warning sign. All of that. But I haven't been following the weekly stories. Let's go to the scouting. I think it's fun. Like, I could be looking into it deeper. But, like, it gives you, like, a little extra to care about and keep an eye on a player or a player to avoid or whatever. Let's just go to available. Come on. And now it's time to look at what I think is interesting. Offensive and defensive line. So we're going to say, here's my philosophy. Maybe some of you have been here from the beginning of this video or different points. There's different ways to look at this. My personal perspective is I want to make sure that you can run block first. And then I'll look at who can pass block out of the run blockers. If we just split the game 50-50, we got runs and we got passes. If you're a liability in the run game, you're going to hurt the running back. Like, if we can't trust that we can run behind you, then we can't run the ball. And if we can't run the ball, then we can't set up play action or do the rest of our offense. If I can't, like, come out and gun and then kill to a run and trust you to run block, like, I can't play with you. If you can run block, then we're going to only look at the people who can run block. Then we're going to see who are the good pass blockers out of everyone who can run block, as opposed to the way around. Does that make sense? So now, goodbye, sir. I don't want it. Not good enough for me. B, okay. How's your pass blocking? Okay, how's your pass blocking? Okay, how's your impact block? That's really good. What's your awareness like? We can teach you something. C is fine. Okay. Injury and toughness, all of that. Okay. Strength I'll worry about later. Though with a player like this, like, could be... Now, we have ourselves a left tackle, but could be your right tackle. Could be someone else's player. Let's move down the list. Run blocking. Pass blocking, don't like it. Don't like it. Don't like the fact that this and this. Not a big fan of that. Okay. Just all kinds of Run blocking, pass blocking. Oh god, that's real bad. Makes me want to throw up a little bit. Oh, I don't even need to spend more points. Nope. Nope. You're fine. You're supposed to be undrafted. You're fine as a backup. You're fine. Oh, that's bad. Okay, so who did we look at? And we wanted to get that far with. So C, pass blocking. A, impact block. C, awareness. Ugh, no. First round, no. Second round, no. Fifth round, maybe. B, C, C's, yeah, first and second round, no. No, no, no. Yeah, you can definitely see why this guy's a first round pick. I think we can agree with that. Dustin says hi. GD, just like real life, no. Just like real life, the answer is no. He's not in this one, and he's not with us in real life. All C's, ugh. Again, when are they picked? Like here. Like undrafted guys, you pick them up, have them like just all kinds of okay, train them up in a skill. The awareness is really bad though. That's really, really bad. That means they don't know football. That's really bad. I probably shouldn't have scouted their scheme. I should have looked there. First, second round, fifth round. F, awareness. Oh, get out of here. I'm glad that we've got our left tackle already. This is bad. This is bad. Yeah, full on D grades. Absolutely. Okay, let's take a look at the other side. I'm like, we are the Jags, and just to let us know, like, we're not necessarily looking for a left tackle. Like, we're not in dire need of it, but it definitely helps to have backups, to have depth, to have project players and all that. But we literally have Luke, right? And View Player Card awards, he was the number 2 pick in the draft. Like, the team just invested in him. So that's what I'm saying. Like, if we get like a 7th rounder or someone to like back him up or whatever, like, I'm not looking to replace him. He's a 90 overall rookie for us so far. Like, he's really, really good, right? But like, we have you seen my Ed, right? I like to play with my Ed, right? So it's like, there's your pass block, there's your run block, there's your impact blocking. Like, he's all kinds of solid. There's no one else that's going to replace him. I don't care about the 68 overall. It'd be nice if he was 1 point better overall, but there's no one that's just like an obvious replacement. And similarly here, Cameron isn't bad, right? He's just all kinds of like C ability here, right? So it would be nice to get someone better at another tackle position. That's right. He knows. So let's go scout players. I see it in the chat. Let's go all available. Let's go right tackles. But the point is, there's no hidden gems out there, right? Okay. C is fine. B is fine. But you're also supposed to be like a first round pick. I'm not going to go year after year like Jags. We're going to pick back-to-back offensive linemen if that's what we're working with. Right? That's not something to write home about. Run block first, pass block second. Okay, those will have decent abilities. Like, offensive line costs us a lot of points. That's why we have to be at 75 versus 38. Like, it's 150 points just for scouting 2 things, right? Okay. See more comments here, so I'm going to pause for the comments. It says, in Madden, I think the right tackle is more important for pass protection. Always get more pressure from that side. Absolutely. Absolutely. That side, just the animations, whatever, like, you can have less qualified pass rushers still get pressure on you. So the right guard and the right tackle are much more important in pass blocking, because also the video game, like Donnie Moore, didn't exactly give them the highest pass block ratings and all of that as well. So absolutely agree with you. Still, I want to make sure that my filter is set to run blocking first before I spend any more points. And I like the fact that we've got some decent run blocking. Like, we haven't run into bad run blocking so far, right? But we also don't have A's, right? And we don't have enough points. That's fine. This is the only way we can afford, because you can't scout everyone, right? But you've got to at least be able to narrow the field down. So we're 3-3. It's 6 weeks in. We're going through to week 7. Like, it's not panic time. Like, it's a 500 season. And simulate is tea time, baby. I'd prefer coffee. I'm just too lazy to go to the local store and buy milk, because I do like a bit of milk with my coffee, not just straight black. No, don't tell me. No, I'm a 49ers fan, and I really liked Kendall Hunter. He was doing a really good job those years. No. No. Okay. Top stories, draft stories. Is this it, though? It's the same draft stories, right? Yeah, so we're not actually missing draft stories. It's collecting all the draft stories we have so far. right? Yeah, these are all the draft stories. Okay, that's why. That's a big belly boy. 10 tackles on a rumbling. There you go. That's why they call it rumbling. You look at that body type. That's why they're putting that. So we need to take a look at this guy just to like look at him. The halfback, Cepho from Oregon State. Okay. Not that we're going to like scout him like to be our runner, but available. Where's Cepho? Here's Cepho. 6 foot, 270 pounds. Bro is almost a 300-pound lineman. He's not quite, but he's almost a 300-pound lineman. And I think we scouted everyone at least to some degree, right? He has like no ball carrier vision. That's why we didn't mess with it, because he's not going to be a zone runner. You want to make him a storyline player. What more can you tell me about this storyline player? You took the time, Josh Lumen, to make this a storyline player, right? Yeah, his trucking has got to be an A as he broke the 10 tackles, right? Right, what else do we have? He shouldn't be juke move, but what's the stiff arm? Let's go. Right? Elusiveness? Yeah. The jukes, whatever. The strength? Let's go, right? He can't see the hole, but he's just a power guy, huh? Right? That's the point. The jukes aren't going to be there, but it's going to be fun to see. The spins. Like, I don't expect the big guy to do that. Can he hold on to the rock? He can hold on to the rock, too? Let's go. What's his injury and toughness like? Let's go. They're doing that on purpose. What does he fit in terms of scheme? Power run, obviously. Let's go. I don't know, bro. When's he supposed to be drafted? 5th round. Bro. Yeah, we can scout awareness, but I don't care. That's what ball carrier vision is supposed to be. The ball carrier vision is supposed to replace awareness. That's the whole point. He can see the holes, right? Awareness is supposed to be this generic, like, little extra thing that they pump up. Like, let's just look at it and see, whatever. But that's supposed to be the dominant factor. He's got the ball in his hands. How's his vision, right? So if he has an option route in catching passes, like, awareness is going to play a factor in choosing the correct option. He's not throwing the football, so it's not that. And he's, like, even the offensive linemen, like, their awareness of, like, who to block as pulling guards or whatever. But it's the ball carrier vision. But how much ball carrier vision do you need to just, we're going to hit the 2-hole? Right? How much ball carrier vision do we need to just be like, okay, look, he's Mr. Goal Line. Like, this is a dude where at 270 pounds, we use that 9er heavy formation that I have, and we just, like, literally substitute him in. And we say, here, you're getting it, right? You're getting this thing in the goal line. We're just putting you down there with your trucking and your strength and your whatever stiff arm. You're like maybe hitting the edge of the tackle, whatever, but we're short yardaging you. And out of Oregon State, the Oregon State Beavers, let's go, bro. Like, middle of the 5th round, I don't know if I want to spend a 4th round pick on him, but depending on where we are, that could be a project player. Come on, let's go. That was worth looking at, right? And then it says, makes sense. Yeah, raising awareness just means you'll pay more for that dude mostly. Right now, he'll be catching the ball. Yeah, how much will he be catching the ball? Exactly. Because my offense, like, I'm already using Shoelaces, the cover boy of Madden 14, Denard Robinson. Like, I'm literally playing Denard Robinson as 3rd wide receiver. And all of that, like, he's doing his kind of thing. He's doing some running position. Like, he's doing the jet sweeps and all of that. He's catching the drags. He's doing some whip route stuff. Like, Denard Robinson is not built like Deebo Samuel, but, like, he's kind of my Deebo Samuel, right? He's the running back wide receiver guy, whatever. I'm a 49er fan, but come on, bro. Deebo Samuel is not known for route running. He's known for his ability to break tackles and do something with the ball in his hands, the ball carrier vision and all that. But we're not going to get into a side topic about that. But we've got basically veteran Forsett as our star runner. And we've got Denard Robinson, shoelaces here, as a guy. So we don't really have the big power back. So it also kind of makes sense. I don't know with our contracts. We got to take a look here at salaries. But if we can go after that dude from Oregon and it would give us that power that we need, yeah. Carter is gone. 1 year remaining on Todman is gone. So if we have Robinson for 4 years and Forsett for these 2 years or whatever, and we get like the bus, you know, you don't need high speed to get 2 yards, right? If it's whatever in 2 and whatever 3, whatever in inches, like you don't need a high speed rating for that. So that's kind of cool. Who else is in the draft stories? I don't want all stories. I want draft stories. So it says he's improving, but still not a game changer at the defensive tackle position. We're not even looking at tackles yet. Todd Davis throws for all those yards in a loss. We do need a quarterback. What is this Michigan quarterback that they want to tell us about? So we go to scouting. Let's just follow some of the players here. Absolutely. As you said in the chat, sometimes the chat doesn't show up when this video gets posted afterwards. It says, as long as he can follow the plays and catch when needed, he's the guy. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. I agree with that idea. What's taking so long to load the data? My game's not frozen. Okay. I hope it doesn't freeze. I mean, it's sitting there spinning. My Xbox isn't frozen, but it's taking a long time to load the data. Yeah, I'm glad I went to the stories and saw the storyline guy, and basically we're finding the bus, Jerome the Bus Bettis, right? We're finding Christian Okoye, right? It said he broke 10 tackles on a 72-yard run. That's not about speed. That's the stiff arm, right? He probably busted through the line and then just like stiff arm guys down. Why is it doing this? It's one of those things like we haven't saved. We haven't saved. And I don't want to turn it off. This could be brutal. GD, you say it wouldn't be online based. I wonder if it even operates right now. What do you mean if it's operable? And I think you mean like the loading the data. Yeah, no, it's not based on online. There's got to be some hiccup. There's got to be some hang up here. I don't want to lose everything that we've done. But I also don't mind simming some stuff. Because all we're doing is scouting right now, right? We're not even playing the physical games. So I'm just burning the scouting points and showing you what I'm looking at here. Like who I'm scouting, why I'm scouting them. And we can look at it in more detail. We can just like re-scout in other directions. And continue the process. Like we know that the safeties are not special for us. We know what's going on with the wide receiver position that is saved and the running back position. We definitely know who we like. We can look at more storyline players. And we can still look at the defensive line, the offensive line. Like we were looking at left tackles and we didn't find anything we liked. So we're not going to like lose too much time. There's like a little bit of cheating here, the fact that we're going to have extra weeks for extra scouting points. But I never run out of scouting points for what I'm trying to do here. Right? Because I don't invest on like unlocking the actual point value. I just do the grade value. I don't do it for everyone. I just do it for those specific positions. So it is what it is. And we'll get through it. Because I'm not going to redo the same things that I already did. I'm not going to waste your time and mine. Hours of work. Resume offline. Jags. Yes. We have our scouting points. Available. We were looking at offensive line here. Right? And we were saying here, run block, no. Run block, pass block, impact, awareness. Nope. 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 Okay, how badly are these? These are supposed to be undrafted guys. So some of them at C, at least at C. I'll give you credit at C, okay? I'll give you credit at C because you're so low. But the D guy is not wasting any more of my time. Okay. We're going to go guards. And then it says, weird it would do that. Great shortcut to not respin. Run block like 300 pounds. Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, I mean, I don't want to cheat the game. I'm not trying to cheat the game. Like, but this is how I scout. That's kind of the point of my video here is, like, how to scout or, like, what I do. I'm not saying, like, it's a straight-on tutorial. Because, I mean, you could seriously cheat and just keep reloading and, like, scout everything and write it all down and just cheat it all the way. That's not my goal here. B, C, I don't really want to spend more points if he's only C at that ability and he's supposed to be a top draft pick. That's the thing. Like, these are rated by their draft pick status, right? Now, second round, okay, maybe. Maybe we can look at people who are, like, at C at this skill at this point, like the bottom of the second. But yeah. Oh. Oh God, no, 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 no. No. Oh. And we don't have enough points. Fine. Cool, 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 cool. All right, so we were talking about top stories, and we see the draft stories. So we've kind of rewound back in time. And Sunday Carlson, that is a guy that we were talking about earlier, right? And I'm not going to go too deep into it, but was he supposed to be like the 7th round pick, the undrafted guy, whatever, available? Because we found him, like, plays every Sunday. Like, I knew that there was something tricky about that name. Yeah, the bottom of the third, or sorry, bottom of the second round, top of the third, right? He was a guy that we also, like, identified, like, actually was, like, pretty decent, right? Draft stories, we got up to 10 stories, so we're at 4 right now. Okay. It was Todd Davis that we wanted to look at. He was the one that had, like, the 400 yards in the loss. And so he hasn't, like, he's already being talked up, gassed up right now. Was hyped coming into the league, but he struggled so far. And then, yeah. So he didn't look like it as much in the first shot, like I wasn't paying attention. But Cepho has been an Oregon State fan favorite since his freshman year. Okay? All right, let's go. So, advance the week. Oh yeah, absolutely, with the low weight and everything. Yeah, absolutely. I like this. I really enjoyed the work that Josh Lumen put into like advancing Madden 14's franchise mode. I'm don't think it's a hot take to say that Madden 13 should not have been released as it was. I think it should have been a behind the scenes thing. I believe they should have taken the hit and released Madden 13 as 12.5, done everything they were doing in the background with 13 without doing it to us as the users. I think everyone loves Madden 12. Like, I don't hear anyone talking anything bad about Madden 12. And if they had just done a roster update like they did, remember, like, Madden 5, Madden 6, Madden 7, Madden 8, like, they're very similar, the same game. They're roster updates with small improvements. And you can talk about the intricate details here and there, but really people were satisfied with those football games. And we were already on next-gen consoles, and people were still satisfied with them. I feel that people were very satisfied with... There's 2 new draft stories. We went from 4 to 6, right? Oh, it's the fact that he got the big game, right? And then the second story about media. Okay, people liked Madden 12. And people hated Madden 13. It was a huge mistake to release Madden 13 like they did. And that's why I think this game, 14 and 15, suffer. Is because the vitriolic hate for Madden 13 really was like bad PR for them. And it really would have been a good idea for them to just like eat shit and just release Madden 12 as a roster update. Like Madden 13 as a roster update to Madden 12. Like release it. What the disc that they sell you is basically Madden 12. Whatever. And then have them complain, like do a feature or I don't know what. But the things that they did, this is my point, the things that they did for Madden 13 laid the groundwork for 14 and 15 and all that, which I enjoy these games. But they were a shell. That was the problem. If they had released 13 just like 12, and then came out with 14 like this, I think they could have avoided a lot of vitriol. And I think this game would have been really embraced because of the user interface here and all the things that we have here, all the features. I think people would have loved this because the jump from 13 to 14 was huge, but so many people were mad at 13 that they didn't give this game a shot. All everyone talks about is PS2 Madden. Then they talk about Madden like 10 being good, Madden 12 being good, and then they're like, all the rest of the Madden suck. When they don't. 14 and 15 are good. But it's 13 that made people just so angry, like, I'm not buying Madden again. I'm going to scream about Madden. And it's like, this is actually kind of good. That's my 2 cents before we get back on track. You listen to me rant and you're like, Paul, just get to the scouting, bro. It's okay. We'll get there. Who's that quarterback? I don't even remember. Yeah, I really got to look at him up. Yeah, this is whenever he does that big story thing. Carlson we looked at. Yeah, Carlson's got 2 storylines around him. Todd Davis, Western Michigan. Okay. Yeah, 13 was a shovel year. I believe they were trying to make this game 14 in 13, and they just ran out of time or whatever. I feel that the 13 should have been the shovel game in terms of, like, they should have shoveled us 12 right back at us. And we should have been like, oh, it's just a shovel game, but hey, it's still good because people liked it. There's Todd Davis, Western Michigan. We might not even be available to pick him at this point. So what's his story, right? What's his scheme? A balanced offense. He's got the awareness and his accuracy and throwing the run and play action and throw deep and short and power and all of that. What's his deal? He's so at awareness. He's got good throwing power. He's not even good at accuracy. He's got the deep ball. That's what it is. That's why Todd Davis has the attention he has. He's got a cannon arm and he can throw it deep and the 400 yards and stuff and all of that. And then there should be like the clue, like throws 400 yards in a loss or whatever. He's not a very good play action. He's not going to throw on the run. He's not going to fit our West Coast offense. He's D mid accuracy and he's C awareness. He's all kinds of no. This is not a player that we're investing a draft pick on. I'm sorry. No. I'm glad that we didn't identify him the first time around. Like, we didn't fall into the trap. We didn't fall into the hype trap. Not all draft stories are going to be about legitimately good players, but I think Cepho could be a lot of fun. I think Carlson can be an interesting, fun player. Who else? They're literally talking about Tony here has struggled to match the hype. It's like a warning sign. Okay, so they've got 2 stories about Cepho here, and they've got 2 stories about the down lineman. They have 2 stories or whatever, right? Because that would be 6, so there's also room for the quarterback. Is it not 2 stories about the Arkansas guy? But it's 2 stories about the Stanford guy, right? Yeah. Okay, so I think later we get a follow-up about the Arkansas guy, the defensive tackle, right? So why is he hyped up? You want to learn about him? Scout players. Available. Tony Dorton, that's the one, right? 6th round, though. 6th round. Is it 6th round? Yeah, 6th round, pick 23. Okay. Hyped up but disappointing. Why? Scheme, multiple hybrid front, agility, acceleration, speed, power moves, finesse moves, block shedding. Ooh, that's why. That's why. Okay. Injury, personality, toughness. The personality doesn't matter, but like he's not going to be a locker room cancer. That's why. He's decent at all these skills. What's his strength like? Fine. It's not amazing. If he is truly going to be a 6th round draft pick, then Tony Dorton is a guy that we're going to have on our board. I would have identified this without the storyline. I would have gone in and seen block shedding as a B. Oh, my wonderful, beautiful, amazing wife is here, and she wants attention, and she deserves every bit of it. Right. Enjoy. We're both teachers. And one of the things that she also has is she teaches. It's called infants, but they're not infants like babies. It's like preschool and kindergarten age range. She teaches English as a second language. We live in Peru. Too much information online. Whatever, bro. And she loves doing that. And so she teaches that part-time on Saturdays. She's got 2 different groups that she works with, and it's really awesome. It's one of her main passions, as a degree in primary education and all that. And it's like a real passion of hers. Like, aside from the fact that we teach English to teenagers and all that in high school, she likes working with kids, and it's like the roots of like the core of what she always was interested in, helping kids. So she goes and does that, and it's amazing, and she's amazing. Okay, so back to here. Tony is a guy I would have identified without the storyline, as I was saying, because the block shedding is good enough, right? I want block shedding above all other things. And why don't we just like dump some points here, since we're talking about Tony and how I would have identified him anyway. Is block shedding is the very first thing. And then power moves, finesse moves, like how are you as a pass rusher? And he's all kinds of boring, like don't care. And it's only 38 points. So you only need one of these abilities to be good, because that's the ability you're going to use to rush the passer, right? The block shedding is against the run. So again, B or higher in block shedding, and you can play for me. That means you can actually get off the block in the run game. And then I want a B or higher in at least one pass rushing move. It can be either pass rushing move, which we have, but you need to be good at least one of your pass rushing moves. Right? If you've got A block shedding and you're not such a good pass rusher, you still might be able to play for me in the 3-4 and just be like a wall there. Also, like in goal line situations and all of that. Just make sure you can at least be a block shedder. If you're only a pass rusher, I have my 4 defensive ends or whatever. I have a few different things like nickels and dimes where I can just substitute you in to a very specific formation and situation. Like, hey, we're in a pass rushing situation here. Like the psycho nickel defense. You can be the one down lineman or something for us. But give me something to work with, right? Give me a skill, but don't just be a B, right? Like, be an A here. That's what's up, right? Power moves, finesse moves, block shedding. Yeah, we're just doing all of these, and it doesn't cost too many points. Like, since we're looking at storyline, we're gonna go back to the offensive line, but yeah, boring, C's boring. You need at least B, and I would like to see A's. And that's exactly what we have here. We've got B's, we've got an A, and we've got a 6-rounder. Like, yeah. Power moves, finesse moves, block shedding. You can see we're burning through our points, but we were going to do this anyway. All right, that's all the points we have for right now. We still got a few more players that we need to scout. So let's just sim the week and keep scouting before we even try to break down what we're seeing. And then I lost a lot of viewers there. I hope they come back later. Yeah, English grammar, English in general is hard to learn as a second language. There's a lot of inconsistencies in spelling, you know. I'm an English teacher as well. I think I get really, really good results. I think I literally do get really good results. But it's from the students themselves, the effort they put in. I constantly put the results back on the students because they're the ones that are actually producing. Scout players available. D tackles. All right. So we're back and we're finishing up this scouting here. Okay, I don't know why we skipped some players here. If they like have shifted around, I don't know what is going on. We'll check the storylines again in a moment. Ooh, that's a player. Let's go. This is what I mean. Like, A, block shedding, B, power moves. Ooh, let's go. Okay. So, block shedding doesn't have to be everything. But who's at least good at it? Here. Look at the best guys. So, A, block shedding. Okay. So, B, power moves. That means you've got a move. How's your strength? How's your ability to tackle? Play recognition really works for draws and screens. We think like, oh, linebackers and corners. It works for everyone. But defensive line also has a matter of like, are they going to go just straight pass rushing? Is this a run play? Like, it matters. It matters for all the positions, right? But where other positions, I'm like, play recognition is like my core foundation skill. Here, can you get off the block or not? Are you going to just get blown up or not? Like, you got to be able to get off the block, and then I'll look at the other things, right? Can you rush the passer in some capacity? Or are you just a goal line guy, or are you just like a third down, like pass rusher? Like, what are you? At least tell me who you are. So this is a decent player to look at. And he's not even supposed to be drafted? No, he is. 4th round. Okay. Because now I've sorted it by ability, not by draft round. Okay. Another block shedder. Okay. And he's got a decent pass rushing move. And he can't tackle. He's probably going to get blown up. I don't know. Like, how bad is tackling really for a defensive lineman? Like, the range that they give you is, like, not so bad. Play rec. You're fine. B strength. Those are only block shedders. So now I don't expect a lot of strength from the other guys. So now we're just, like, fine. So who are our finesse rushers? Like, finesse at a defensive tackle? Well, you can. You can. But we don't have anyone who's an A, who's special at that. Power moves, bull rushers. Okay. Tony here, that's the thing. Tony has got, like, the full package, bro. A, power moves. B, finesse moves. He can throw either on you and the block shedding, but he's underperforming. That's a warning sign. Maybe that's why he's going to fall in the draft. Maybe that's their explanation of why such a good player is falling in the draft, right? And it doesn't matter how you produce on Saturday, how you produce on Sunday. Tony is a 7th rounder right now? What is going on? Is this a durability? Is something happening here? He's just falling off the board. Like, high motor, yes? Like, are we going to just buy the hype? Is he going to disappoint us? At a 7th round pick, you're not even investing... You're not even investing much money at all. Right? Okay, power moves, also a B. What's your scheme? What's your strength? I didn't want hit power, I wanted tackle, but whatever, it's still fine. What's your play rec? What's your injury? What's your stamina and toughness? Because you're a defensive lineman. Okay. So those are guys with like A and B ratings. Here's some A and B ratings. Like a good combos of A and B ratings that we have the schemes marked up for. And then a bunch of like B and B ratings. Airbnb. No one else really stands out as special. B&B is just all kinds of fine. How's your strength? B&B with B strength. Just one skill and it's not elite. At least here we've got some more B&B strength and ability. The fact that he's not Mr. Power Moves means, yeah, the strength is really weak. I expect the strength to be weak here. It is. The power moves are weak. Right? Those kind of go hand in hand. They're probably more an agility acceleration guy. Yeah, that kind of stuff goes hand in hand as we would expect. They're just kind of average here. Yeah, that's exactly what we would expect. And then C and below, we're just not really wasting our time. This means they have like no strength either. Guys to skip. At least B block shedding. Play rec. No, not injury. Sometimes it just like jumps like that. You saw like it jumped down and over. It's got to be me on the D-pad and the sticks. I just shouldn't jump so far ahead. I don't care about the little points, but yeah, like that it just jumped. Play rec is so bad. Yeah, I think these four are the guys that we have our attentions on. And they are 7th round undrafted, 4th round and undrafted. Bro, these are the steals. These are the steals in the draft. Good block shedders, decent like pass rushing moves. Their play recognition is fine. He's the only one that's like not very good at tackling. So it's kind of a warning flag, but they're like decent at tackling. These are who I would have identified, all of these players, without any kind of storyline. So there's defensive line. All right, let's continue using our points. Scouting players. And available. And let's do the same thing for ends, right? It's just the same old ball game. Nope. Finesse moves, power moves, block shedding. Do you need block shedding and defensive end? Aren't they a pass rusher ball? Yeah, you need block shedding. Like, it turns out they run the ball not just on the inside. They also run it to the edge. Block, finesse, power. I know it can be boring, but as I said, okay, we don't have enough points. That's what you're investing in. So let's go to advance the week. So yeah, the same thing with defensive ends. Like, it doesn't matter, like, always, if you're a great pass rusher, I'll find a position for you. If you're just a great block shedder, I'll find a position for you. And if you're good at both, then you're going to start and you're going to play every down, right? So how are we doing? 2-3. Hey, we're in the losing position, but remember we were 3-3 after all these weeks. So let's go to scouting. Oh, let's go to the top stories. Do we have more draft stories? Yeah, we have a few more draft stories. That's the one that we saw. Coach says Dorton needs to have a bigger impact going forward. So they're really trying to warn us. But I think what's happening is Josh Lumen is signaling to us, this is a good football player, but he's going to fall in the draft. I think that's what Josh is trying to tell us. Right? That's my guess. There's a really good player here. But also there's a warning, like, maybe he just won't produce for us. I don't know. I want to know more about him. Right? And then we've got our third story of Cepho, right? Our third story. That's interesting. So available. I think we were still working on left ends. Look at these really bad C block shedding. But again, like, and then power moves, finesse with F. Like, you're just not good at anything. Who's drafting you guys? Who is spending first-round picks, second-round picks on these players? What teams are scouting and saying, you know what I need? I need this guy. 6'7", 301. That's probably why. Just they physically look at his body and they're just like, we can do something with that athlete. We can do something with this athlete. And I'm like, I need a football player. Give me football players. I'm getting hyped on like 4th and 7th round draft picks and undrafted free agents or whatever. And maybe I'm just the crazy one. Power moves, finesse moves, block shedding. Right, this is the entire class. No one has an A ability. Nobody. We see B abilities only. And out of the people who are block shedders, I only see someone who is good here. What scheme? A 4-3 scheme. What's your strength? How good are you at tackling? What's your hit power? What's your pursuit? What's your play recognition? How's your injury? How's your stamina? How's your toughness? Do you have a high motor? No, you don't have a high motor. That means that when he gets knocked down, he doesn't really try to fight to get up. That's an ability that I really want to see a yes in for a lot of my players. An attacking 4-3, supposed to be a 5th round player. I'd like to see a high motor out of him. He doesn't have it. You can't always get a perfect player, right? But that's someone I'm at least like, hey, could be something maybe. Who are you going to pick in the 5th round or whatever? I don't know. Who are you going to pick in the 4th round? I think I have an idea. But 5th, 6th, 7th round, like those 3 rounds, you're like, just get me someone who can contribute to the team. But the C's, like the B's are nice. The B's are nice. Okay. What's your scheme? Tampa 2, I run a little hybrid, all that kind of stuff. What's your tackling? What's your play recognition? Not very good. You don't know how to play. All you do is you're like okay at block shedding, and that's about it. Right? How's your tackling? How's your play recognition? You're still not good at recognizing plays. Don't like it. Terrible. Okay, so you've got B's, and you've got different ways that you can rush the passer. So if you can rush the passer, maybe we can find a spot for you. Can you recognize if you're gonna get like a draw thrown at you or a screen? Okay, you can kind of understand some things. How's your tackling ability? Right. Your general awareness, your injury, your personality. Wow, he might be a locker room cancer kind of guy. I don't know. Doesn't have a high motor. How's your toughness and all of that? And he's supposed to be a 1st round pick. Ooh, this is a red flag. The no high motor and the F personality tell me this is not someone you want to spend a 1st round pick on. If this said like 5th, 6th, 7th, I'd be like, okay. But no. Not a fit for me. Not a fit for this organization. No. Okay. So go be a locker room cancer with your high motor no on some other football team. And the rest of the guys are just all kinds of eh. Right? They're just all kinds of eh. Do I want to look at him more just because he has B block shedding? That's what I'm thinking. Do I at least look at some other abilities? As a tackle, all of that. Play recognition, injury, personality, locker room cancer, high motor no. Pursuit, awareness, all of that. We learned about these guys, right? And what do we learn? We're not interested in the left ends. They're just not interested at all. Okay? We're not going to be able to get through all the right ends. But let's get who we can get through. Interesting player. Another interesting player. Right ends are looking interesting. Now, it's fine that we don't have left end because also remember, our team drafted a 1st round left end who I believe is in his 3rd season. And he's been pretty good for us. It's not that we're looking to necessarily draft replacements. But just to let you know, just to show you here. We go to left end, and Tyson here. Only rated 73 overall. Block shedding's an 81. It's a B. Like, power moves is 1 point away from being like a B. What I would consider a B in the 80s. I would consider C below. He's just all kinds of fine. His tackle, everything else. Like, was he overdrafted? Maybe. If we go to view player card, and we say awards, he was picked 10th overall in 2010. So the 2010, 11, 12. He's in his 4th season. He's got 3 years pro. Yeah, all of that. So he was a former top 10 draft pick. And he hasn't panned out to be like elite for us or anything. But he's still a solid player, and he's probably going to get a contract extension from us. Just because he's all kinds of solid. Right? All right. And DMC's on the trade block again. How did we lose draft stories? Maybe they're cutting the old ones. Interesting. All right. So what are we looking at? Block shedding. Only one player with an A rating in that skill. Let's learn more about this player. Okay. We learned a lot about him. A, power moves, and B, block shedding. Means, again, he's solid. Like, all these players are solid in the run game. Not great, but solid. And he's got some pass rushing abilities, right? And he's got a high motor, unlike the other guy. Hey, we've got elite points, baby. Elite points. 1337 in points. Second round. Interesting. I'm just thinking, like, this is basically a first round pick if you're picking at the bottom. Right? Like, if you're not picking, like, if you're not a bad team, you're not inside, like, the top 5, you better take this as your second round, or as your first round guy, right? If you want him. His size is rated as a 99, 6'6", 269. Production is so-so, whatever. Okay, now out of the block shedders, here's at least someone with a little bit more ability. F personality and no high motor, huh? Okay, so out of block shedders, I'm not going to waste my time on anyone else. Out of power move guys, we've already looked at here, we've already looked at here, and then there's no one else with power moves. Out of finesse moves, this is the only guy that we haven't looked at with good finesse moves. And C is block shedding. So what else do we need to know about him? Okay. So we're learning about all the guys with at least B and some ability. So there's 4 guys that we're looking at. And they're supposed to be drafted first round, third round, second round, like basically in second round, because he's going to the third. If you want to take him, you need to spend a second round pick on him. You need to spend a first round pick on him. We might have a sleeper here. Fillmore could be a sleeper. What do we know about Fillmore? He's decent at things. 6'6", 277, decent at things. The play recognition is not so great, but it's a 6th-round pick. Doesn't have a high motor. Not exactly the personality you want in the locker room. It is what it is. Okay. We've got offensive line to go. The run blocker is really the inside, the centers, and the guards, and all of that. And we can progress from there. 2 and 4. That's more like it. Okay. I've had a lot of fun doing this and scouting players with you. And we're going to see how it goes as we potentially get ready for the draft and everything. Okay? So, thank you and thank everyone else for being here. And I'll see you next time.